open houses for the agents that had listings because I didn't have any. I was running ads, I was farming. I mean, you name it, I was trying it, and I was spending so much money every single month before I ever had any money coming in. So what changed? Well, I discovered making YouTube videos. I started doing it with no rhyme or reason, no strategy, no consistency, no real plan. I just thought, well, I'm new here and I need to get my name out there, so I'll start making videos. And all of a sudden, I just got that magic phone call where somebody said, we found your YouTube channel. We've been watching all of your videos. We feel like we know you already. My wife and I want to sell our house. We're going to move to Georgia and we want you to help us. And of all of the stuff that he said, the only thing that I really heard was ding, ding, ding. We feel like we know you already. And I knew that the power of video did that, but I had never really experienced it before then. So then when we moved to Savannah, I said, okay, I'm going to make one video a week. That's it. Just one video a week on YouTube. I'm not going to repurpose them on all the different platforms. I'm not going to do Instagram stories and Facebook Lives and YouTube videos and LinkedIn video and IGTV. Like, I'm just going to concentrate on the one thing. And for me, it was YouTube, and my business just completely exploded. And so now this is where we get 70% of our business, not leads, actual clients and closings. This is what my life is like today. I get emails like this all the time. I don't have to cold call. I don't buy leads. I do run ads when I get a new listing. I run an ad. I want to get as many eyeballs on that property as possible, but I don't run ads saying, hey, go watch my YouTube videos. You don't have to, because why here very shortly. I'm sorry for all these weird microphone issues I seem to be having. I'm not sure what's up with that. Maybe my
Karin, Mercury is in retrograde, so it's not your fault.
You know what? We're going to ditch the microphone. And okay, how about now? Can you hear me okay now?
I can hear you, yes.
You can, okay. I'm just gonna ditch the microphone. I don't know why I'm having issues with it, so we'll just get rid of it. Okay, cool. So, and my favorite part, did I mention that YouTube is completely free? So let's talk about how you can do this for yourselves. The 3 secrets to making videos that will actually get your phone to ring. Secret number 1 is that the videos that rank highest on my YouTube channel and on most of my coaching students' YouTube channels are not about the specific listings. People don't really go to YouTube to look for houses. They're Googling general real estate agent or real estate information. They're wanting to learn about the area. They're wanting to learn about buying or selling. They want to learn about what is it like living there, what is there to do, all those sort of things. And if all of your videos are just about the listings, they're about the actual houses, then most of the time you're not even on camera. So you are not able to establish any rapport with your audience if your face isn't even on camera and they don't see your face, they don't hear your voice. So if you can instead talk about your area, talk about buying and selling in the area, why your town is awesome, what they need to know if they move there, those videos perform extremely well. So let's talk about equipment, because everybody always wants to know about the equipment, right? Your smartphone is plenty. You do not need to go out and buy a big expensive DSLR. It's just not necessary. Your smartphone or a webcam on your computer will be just fine. I do recommend that you have an inexpensive microphone. It can just be Bluetooth earbuds. It can be the one that clips onto your lapel and it plugs right into the headphones jack. It could be a USB microphone that plugs into the USB port on the back of your computer, but just some sort of external microphone is ideal. Then you need some decent lighting. So when I usually film in my home office and my desk faces the window. So I just open the blinds, I let the sun come in. Natural light is fantastic. if you're going to be filming after dark or in your basement or somewhere that's not very well lit, a couple of those lights, you know what I'm talking about. It's a tripod with the light bulb on top and a big umbrella in the front. You can get a set of 2 of those for about $50 on Amazon these days. And then just something to hold the phone steady so that you're not holding a selfie stick and it's still kind of bouncing around. That's pretty much all you need as far as equipment. I mean, or you could be like this guy and you go totally handheld where you buy your little Gorilla Pod. That thingy is probably $12 on Amazon. It has a little clamp to hold your phone. You get your external microphone. You go outside with the lighting is going to be fantastic. And I learned that I could get tons and tons of prospects to pick up the phone and call me from these very simply put together videos, but you don't even have to have any listings. So if you're a buyer's agent, you can absolutely use the strategy because it is not dependent upon the house. So here are some topics that have worked very well for my channel. Pros and cons of living in Savannah. I did one called Cities Near Savannah, where I just highlighted 5 different suburbs that were not in the city itself, but they were around the perimeter. How to buy your first investment property. Is it cheaper to buy or build? You can just think about questions that you're getting asked on a regular basis from your prospects and your clients, and just start a running list of what questions could I answer for them and put them in video format. You need to be face to camera so they can get to know you and get to know your personality. And then when they're ready to buy or sell, they are more likely to reach out to you. So let me show you a little bit of proof. If you go to YouTube and you typed in Savannah, Georgia real estate, of the first 6 videos that show up, 5 of them are mine. Now the client comes to YouTube and they start hunting around. They think that I'm the only real estate agent in town, which is absolutely not true. We've got thousands of agents in Savannah, just like I'm sure you have where you are, but they think that we're the only people doing business there, and I am perfectly happy to let them think that, right? So do a little bit of recon, see who is making YouTube videos in your area and what are they about? Are they all about their listings, or are they actually talking to their prospect just like you would talk to somebody if you met them at an open house or you met them at a networking event? But instead of one-to-one, it's one-to-many. If you don't have a lot of people doing that in your area, then it's a wide open playing field. And if there are people in your area doing it, see if they're being consistent. Even if they were super consistent, they're making a video every single week, there is still room for everybody. We need to operate from a place of abundance and not scarcity, right? Because everybody has a different personality and everybody will have a slightly different focus for their channel. So you can always start, even if there are other people in your area doing it now. But most of the time, there are not very many people. So it's awesome. Secret number 2. Yeah.
Can I ask you a quick question? I just wanted to maybe ask you, how important is your thumbnail? Because on the slide that you showed prior to this one, it looks like you have some pretty dynamic thumbnails that would make people or make these stand out opposed to just a property video.
Absolutely. Yep. A custom thumbnail is so important, because if you do any sort of search, this is what you see, whether you're on your phone or on your computer. You see that little thumbnail picture and then the title with a brief description underneath it. And come on, let's face it, even though we say don't judge a book by its cover, you judge a book by its cover. And this is what's telling you whether or not you want to click on it. If it doesn't have a great photo and it doesn't have a compelling headline, people aren't going to be inspired to click on it. So yes, I absolutely spend the time to make a custom thumbnail, because that's the first thing they see, even before the title. And we need to get them to click on it. If they don't click on it, they can't watch the video. So the thumbnail is extremely important. And I just make mine in Canva or PicMonkey. You could use Photoshop. There are apps on your phone. It doesn't really matter what you use to create it, but you should create it.
Thank you.
You betcha. All right, so secret number 2 is that in order to attract leads like a magnet, I really honestly believe that you need to have a niche. You need some sort of specialty. What do they say? The riches are in the niches. When you try to be all things to all people, you end up being nothing to no one. So when we moved to Savannah, I was very excited because we had been in Atlanta prior to that, and my husband is retired military. They have a base, an Air Force base in Atlanta, but it's not very active, and they don't have people moving in and out of the city to be stationed there. So when we got to Savannah, they do have a very active base here. And I decided that I was going to focus on helping military personnel relocate to the Savannah area. They don't know anything about it. They've been told they're going there. They're doing their research online, trying to figure out what's it going to be like to live there. And do we have to live in base housing, or could we finally buy a house? So that was my goal. I was going to be talking to primarily buyers that were in the military that were moving to Savannah. If you pick a specialty like that, you might be afraid that you are now excluding everybody else that does not meet that demographic, right? Well, I will tell you that the very first lead I got was from a seller who was not in the military. The second lead I got was from a seller. He was in the military and he was PCSing to Fort Eustis in Virginia. But just because you make content with a very specific focus on your channel does not mean that you will never get any other clients who don't meet that criteria. So don't let that scare you. Having a specialty makes it easier for you to come up with content for that channel because you know exactly who you're talking to. So what are some other niches that you could have? It could be a type of property. It could be a type of transaction. It could be a type of client. It could be a farm area. It could be hobbies. It could be people that don't have children, but they have dogs and their dogs are their fur babies. And maybe like somehow in every video you work in talking about dogs as far as whatever the topic of the day is. You've got pictures of dogs in your office. You're holding your little Scotty dog while you're making your video. You can somehow work that in so it's part of your channel. And by having a very specific focus, you will be able to attract your ideal people very easily. Then finally, secret number 3 is that YouTube is not really a social media platform. It is a search engine. It is the second biggest search engine in the world, and it is owned by Google, which is the biggest search engine in the world. So if you have a video that's performing very well on YouTube, it absolutely can show up on the first page of Google search results totally for free, no pay-per-click ads required. So I see people spend a lot of time making great videos and they put them on social media, and I'll say, well, how's that working for you? And they'll say, well, I haven't really gotten any leads from it yet. It's awesome to put them on Facebook and get likes and comments, but let's face it, likes and comments do not put a roof over my head or food on the table. I am making my videos with the express purpose of trying to attract new business. So YouTube is a search engine. The people are there looking for your content. Why not put this content on YouTube? And again, most markets that I've looked at don't really have a lot of agents who are doing this with any regularity. So again, with my own channel, if we search Savannah, Georgia real estate market, look at that very first video that shows up. It is a market update. It is a boring video. I can't imagine anything less exciting to watch on YouTube than a market update, and yet it's had 4,000 views. People are hunting for the information. And if they're doing the search on Google and your video shows up, they would much rather watch your video than read some boring blog post on Zillow. So put your content on YouTube. Make it specific to what your ideal client is looking for, what they want to know about, the problems that they're having, the questions that they have. You're going to answer those questions for them. And it absolutely can show up on Google search results in addition to YouTube search results. But again, here's what most of the people are doing. They're just doing these virtual tours. Now, I got to give kudos to Brian Sells Pittsburgh because he is in the video. And so he is at least giving the tour of the property, but he's face to camera. So they're getting to know him and his personality. But most of the other videos, it's just the photos that the photographer took and they stitched them together and they set it to music and they put the agent's little business card in the last 10 seconds. And that's not really a video. And that's not ever going to get you a new client unless they loved that exact house and they don't already have an agent. They might say, oh, I really love, 23 Cedricton Street, and they'll call you because they don't already have an agent. But if they didn't love that house, they're not going to call you if you're not in that video.
Karen,
So, yes.
your slide before that one where you had your videos up there, how important and can you explain, you have your thumbnail picture up there, but then each video has a discrete description. And I don't know if that helps when people are searching on Google or not, but you say Savannah, Georgia real estate update, March 2019. So
Mm-hmm.
is it important how they tag the video too, or how they title the video along with the thumbnail?
Yes. So your title and your thumbnail are what are going to get people to click on your video. So you want your title to not only tell them what the video is about, but hopefully make them want to click on it because they're intrigued. They want to know what you're talking about. So if you put in there like March 2019, they, at the time when this video came out, people wanted to click on it because it was very new. I don't know if anybody's watching it anymore because now it's over a year old. But at the time when it came out, I put the title that way because I wanted people clicking on it because it was a brand new video, right? And so, yes, your title is very important. You're going to want to do some keyword research, which is finding out what people are actually typing into the search bar in order to then find your video. So if your video was going to be about the Savannah real estate market, and I said, okay, how many searches on a monthly basis is Savannah, Georgia real estate market getting? You can see at the top of my screen the search bar, I typed that in, and right below it, it says volume 70 per month, which means 70 people a month are typing that exact phrase into the search bar. They're typing Savannah GA real estate market, 70 people a month. And the competition on a scale of 1 to 100 is 0.46, so kind of medium competition. Whenever I'm making a video, I look for something ideally that gets over 100 searches a month. 70, it's not all that much, but that also shows a very high intent. Anybody who's typing in Savannah, Georgia real estate market has an interest in buying and selling real estate, and they want to know what's happening with the market. They're not looking for the best coffee shop. They're not looking for the best place to have fish tacos. They're not looking for the whatever events are happening this weekend. They are basically self-identifying that they are interested in buying and selling real estate in your market. So even though it only gets 70 searches a month, it's really high intent on the part of the person who is doing the search. So I would absolutely do a little bit of keyword research first. And when we get to the Q&A part, I'll tell you all of the tools that I use, and you're welcome to use them as well. And find out how much demand there is for the topic and how hard would it be to rank for. If you did the search and it said 70 searches a month, but the competition was 0.92, I would never even bother trying to rank for that term, because now you're competing against, you know, Zillow and Redfin and all the big portals and whatnot. And as a small YouTube channel, you're just not going to rank. There's no point in showing up on page 8 of the search results because no one will ever scroll that far. You need to be on page 1 at the top. So I would rather rank for a less competitive keyword right on page 1 at the top than rank on page 8 for a super amazing keyword, if that makes sense.
Thank you.
Okay, you bet. And I'll go into the whole keyword strategy a little bit later.
Would you like us to answer all the questions at the end of the presentation?
That would actually be great because I'm probably going to cover some of those things in the rest of the presentation, and then we can go into the Q&A later. Plus, I don't have my pictures of everybody up, and so when I close my presentation, I'll be able to see all your smiling faces as I answer them. Okay, so takeaway number 3 was that when people are ready to buy and sell a house, they are not going to Facebook or Instagram to do their research. They're going to Google. And because Google owns YouTube, if you put your content on YouTube, you are attracting a much more qualified prospect because they have already expressed interest in the topic that you're talking about. So don't neglect YouTube. Make your videos and put them on YouTube. And here's another success story. This is like my pride and joy. I feel like I just had a baby, right? This is my featured snippet. If you go to Google and you type in moving to Savannah, not only does my video show up on the first page of Google search results completely for free, no ad spend, it's not just a little tiny thumbnail, it's a huge big video, and it's right there at the top of the search results. So out of 34 million results on Google for the keyword moving to Savannah, my video is showing up at the very top of the first page. That right there should convince you why YouTube is amazing, because that was for free with no pay-per-click ads. And every single person that Google's moving to Savannah is interested in moving to Savannah, and they're going to need a place to live when they get here. Now, a lot of them might turn out to be renters. That's okay. You're going to get a ton of leads this way too, if there is demand for people relocating into the area where you live. And then bonus secret number 4 is don't be salesy. Don't ask for the sale. So people don't go to YouTube to watch commercials. They want it to be entertained, to learn something, to be inspired. And if you can make a video where you're teaching them something, but you're also entertaining, then you're going to kill it on YouTube, because that type of content will perform very, very well. So you don't need to tell them all your designations and how many awards you've won and how you're a top producer and how long you've been in business, because honestly, nobody really cares. They want to know what's in it for me. They don't really care about all of your credentials at this point. They Googled, how much does it cost to sell a house? And if they click on your video, you can't immediately launch into the, hey everyone, I'm Karin Carr and I'm a realtor in Savannah, Georgia, and I'm a top producer and I've been in business for 15 years and I've got this, that, and the other thing, and I've sold $50 million worth of real estate. Like, when you launch into all of that stuff, you're going to lose people. They just don't care at this point. Instead, you want to tell them what's in it for them. Why should they watch this video? Why should they care? What are they going to learn if they watch this video? And I learned that the less that I promoted myself in my videos, the more it's like they let their guard down, they let their walls down, and they begin to trust you. And then, of course, the more they know, like, and trust you, the more likely they're going to call you when it's time. So by not asking for the sale, you get the sale. And I know that it's totally counterintuitive, but after 3 years of making videos, I don't think I have ever once said, if I can help you, call me, here's my phone number. I never put my phone number on the screen. I don't ask them to call me. Instead, I offer them something of value. And if they want it, they're going to take me up on it. So if you can be friendly and knowledgeable and helpful and be yourself on camera so that they're really getting to know your personality, that's how you win on YouTube. So make videos on more than just your listings. Niche down and pick a focus for your channel so that it makes it easier for you to not only speak directly to that person so that when they watch your video, they're like, oh, it's like you're talking directly to me. It's like you're looking inside my head. It also makes it easier for you to come up with content for the channel. Then you want to put your videos on YouTube because that's where people are actually looking for them. They're really not going to social media to do any sort of research when it comes time to buy or sell, but they are going to Google. And don't sell in your video, just be very helpful and answer their questions and come from a place of service. So let me ask you a question. Are you willing to be brave? Because I know so many people don't want to get on video because they don't want the rejection. They're afraid that they're going to be criticized. They're afraid that trolls are going to make comments. And you know what? They are. I had one lady say, you really need to color your roots before you get on camera. You're selling expensive houses and you need to look the part. And I just cracked up because, like, when I'm getting 3 to 5 leads a day from people that say, I found you on YouTube, clearly that is not an obstacle. Yes, I may have needed to do my roots that day, but it didn't prevent anyone from calling me. They are not going to hire me to list their house or help them buy a house because I have washboard abs, or because I'm 25 years old, or because I have perfectly highlighted hair. They're hiring me because they like me, they trust me, they think that I'm competent to help them. They're not hiring me because of what I look like. So I'm 51 years old. I don't have washboard abs and people are still hiring me. So if I can do it, you can do it. I promise you. So a couple months ago, I did a 5-day challenge on Facebook. I have a big Facebook group there if you'd like to join it. It's called YouTube for Real Estate Agents. And I did this 5-day challenge in the group where we kind of overhauled everyone's YouTube channel so that they could get set up for success. And then I recorded the whole thing and I uploaded it to my website. So if anybody would like to watch the replay of that, you are welcome to do it. It is called Turn Subscribers into Sales. And over the course of the 5 days, we're just going to overhaul your YouTube channel so that you can start getting this kind of business too. I mean, we now have over 8,000 subscribers to our YouTube channel, and I have a little team. I went from being the brand new agent in my market to having so much business that I needed to hire a team. And I'm just telling you, I'm kicking myself that I didn't start YouTube videos much, much, much sooner, because it works that well. So if you want to watch the replay of that 5-day challenge, you can go to youtubeforagents.com/challenge. So youtubeforagents.com/challenge, and you'll be able to sign up for that. And thank you for being here. And now I'm happy to open up the floor and start answering any questions for you.
Thank you, Karin. I know we had a couple of questions in here. The first one was, what about putting the video together? Say I have 4 clips and want them to be merged. Is there an edit function through your YouTube or another app that you recommend?
Okay, so I'm assuming you're talking about like you took 4 different clips with your phone and now you need to edit them together. So yes, you don't do that within YouTube. You use some sort of video editing software program. There are a million out there. If you are a Mac user, iMovie came free with your computer. I highly recommend that you use that. There's also, Filmora. I use WeVideo right now. It's wevideo.com, which is web-based. So it doesn't matter whether you have a PC or a Mac. And it's not free, but it is relatively inexpensive, and it's got some really great features. There are just so many different video editing apps. There are also apps on your phone. If you have an iPhone, iMovie comes on your iPhone, and you could just import all 4 of those clips, and then it kind of splices them together. So yeah, or you can just hire a virtual assistant, which is now what I do. So I was doing it all myself in iMovie. Then I switched over to WeVideo. Then I hired a virtual assistant in the Philippines who charges me $3 an hour to do it for me. I record the video, I give it to her. She does all of the editing, saves me tons and tons and tons of time. And it is the best money that I spend ever, because now I get that time back to be doing something else.
Where did you find your VA?
I went to a website called onlinejobs.ph, and it's kind of like monster.com for the Philippines. So onlinejobs.ph, and you can just search for whatever you need. And it doesn't have to just be a video editor. It could be a graphic designer who makes the thumbnails and the channel banner. It could be somebody who's then going to publish it for you and repurpose it on other platforms. It could be, transaction coordinators, and can be whatever you want to use them for. But I have a video editor that I found on onlinejobs.ph.
Awesome. And there's another question from Michael. He said, do hashtags work in the title?
Not really. So hashtags are not the same on YouTube as they are on Instagram. So there are, how can I explain it? On Instagram, you might use like hashtag real estate, hashtag realtor life, and stuff like that. But on YouTube, we have tags which tell the YouTube algorithm what the video is about, but they're more long tail keywords. So if you do any blogging, you know what that means. It's not like real estate, it's Savannah real estate, Savannah, Georgia real estate in Savannah. They're longer hashtags, if you will. That are more specific to what that exact video is about, and not so broad like hashtag real estate. Now, YouTube did allow you, probably a year ago, maybe more, that you could put 3 clickable hashtags below your video. So in that description box below, you can put 3 different hashtags. Here's the problem. If somebody clicks hashtag Savannah, Georgia real estate, they now see every video on YouTube that is using that hashtag, and most of them may not be my content anymore. So I basically got them to leave my channel and now start watching whatever competitors there are. Most of them are going to be like travel vloggers, but some of them are going to be real estate agents. And I don't want to make them leave my channel and watch somebody else. I want them to stay on my channel. So I don't really use the 3 clickable hashtags unless it's a hashtag that I invented. If I make up the hashtag and I use that on multiple videos of mine, and they click on it and all of the content that shows up is going to be mine, that's okay. But I don't want to drive them away from my channel.
Okay, that makes sense. Next question from Camille. What length videos are the most successful?
10 minutes and longer, if you can believe it. So I know that's hard. If you are not used to doing videos yet, 10 minutes sounds like, oh my gosh, what could I possibly talk about for 10 minutes, right? So work your way up to it. I would say 3, 4, 5 minutes would be great. And then as you get more comfortable and you feel like you're getting better at holding somebody's attention, shoot for 7 minutes. But when you get to 10 minutes, you will totally be rewarded by the YouTube algorithm, because at 10 minutes and longer, they can now show ads in the middle of your video. So not just in the first 5 seconds now. And we all find it annoying, right? You're watching this really great video and all of a sudden the ad starts playing and you're like, ah! But when you can have a 10-minute video, that's when that can be displayed. And then YouTube wants to show that to more people because they're making more money from ad revenue. So 10 minutes and longer, you will totally be rewarded by the algorithm by having your videos promoted more and show up more often in search and show up in the suggested feed as well. But until then, don't think that they have to be short. We are not talking about like 2-minute Tuesdays. I would aim for 5 minutes or longer whenever possible.
Okay. And then we're getting lots of questions for you. So
okay, good.
Amy asked, does the recorded course go into detail around titling the video, adding tags, and getting the SEO score up in YouTube?
Yep, absolutely. So my whole strategy has been SEO because I want people that are looking for my information. Like, it's great to have a video that goes viral and you get 1 million views, and like, how cool is it to say that I had this video that got 1 million views? But my goal is not to be YouTube famous or internet famous. My goal is to get clients for my real estate business. I am looking for buyers and sellers who want to do business in the Savannah market, and I want them to hire me, and I want to get a commission check at the end of the day, right? So I'm trying to figure out, all right, if my ideal client is someone in the military who just found out that they're moving to Savannah, what do they want to know? They want to know, how do I buy a house with my VA entitlement? What is the funding fee? When do they waive the funding fee? Would the BAH cover my mortgage payment? How much do I need for the down payment? Does the seller pay the closing costs? They're asking all those kinds of questions that first-time buyers ask, and especially military first-time buyers. They're also saying, what is it like to live in Savannah? What is the weather like? How far away is the beach? How far away is Disney World? How much does it cost? Like, what could I get for under $200,000 there? So they're asking all of those kinds of questions. And I just make videos answering those questions. And so, no, my PCSing to Hunter Army Airfield video does not have 7,000 views, but I get paying clients who, you know, when I get a $7,000 commission check, that makes me pretty happy. So the number of views and the number of subscribers is not really all that important, as it is that your ideal client finds your video when they need it. When they do the search and they're looking for it, we want you to show up in the search. And that's pretty much the gist of what I teach in my program.
Okay. Then another question, it said, what would Karin recommend for our first video that we put out? And should we do an intro video or content answering questions, problems for the niche?
Okay, so the first video to put out, figure out what your niche would be, who are you talking about, and then just make a video. I really don't care what it's about, just make your first one. Know that your first 20 videos are probably going to stink. We all were terrible on camera. Unless you've already been on camera a ton and you're used to it, we all stink at the beginning. So just start making them, because you'll get better over time. But don't think like the very first video that you make has to be amazing. Like, this is all practice at this point. We are perfecting our skills and we're just getting used to the whole idea of being on camera. As far as a welcome video, yes, it's called a channel trailer, and you can tell YouTube, you upload it and you say, I want you to show this video to anybody who is not a subscriber to my channel. So when they arrive on your channel for the very first time, this video automatically starts to play. And it does not need to be, hi, I'm Karin Carr. I I've been a real estate agent for 15 years. I love to work with buyers and sellers and renters and all the things. And I'm going to teach you all this stuff on my channel. So be sure to subscribe because I'm awesome. Like instead say, this is what my channel is about. This is who the channel is for. This is what you're going to learn. This is why it's going to be interesting. And this is what's in it for you so that you would want to hit the subscribe button. And that welcome video doesn't have to be long. It could be 90 seconds long, 2 minutes long at the very most, but just be very authentic on camera, talking to the camera so that they're getting to see you and know your personality, but mostly just tell them what's in it for them so that they want to become a subscriber.
Okay. Michael asked, is the preference live videos like in Facebook or otherwise?
Nope. Nope. The only way live on YouTube seems to really work is if you already have a huge audience. So if you've got 17 subscribers, I don't think it's really going to do very much for you to go live. I have 2 channels. One is for my real estate business and one is for my coaching business. And on my YouTube for Agents channel, I go live, but that's because I have, 4,000 subscribers. And so if I go live there, I know that a lot of people are going to watch it. But if you go live on your channel when you've got a very small number of subscribers, I don't think it's really going to get very much reach. So instead, the pre-recorded videos that you do a lot of planning and research for work better. And I like that better because when I go live, I'm always so nervous that I'm going to say something stupid and now I can't take it back. And it was live and they all heard it. Whereas if I record it and then I edit it later, I can take out the mistakes and no one will ever see it except me or my editor.
So Teresa has another question. It says, do you go back and get rid of the older videos that you really didn't like, or is it better to put up bad videos just to see how it goes? Should the name of your YouTube channel be the same as your business listing in Google?
Okay, so question number 1, should you delete the old ones? I do not. I leave them up there. Unless, I don't know. I can't even think of why you would ever want to delete one unless you changed brokerages and the whole video was about how much you love that brokerage and now you don't work there anymore. I can't see any reason why you would ever delete it. I leave them up there. And I've had more than one client say, I went back and I watched your oldest videos and oh my gosh, you're so much better now. And I'm not insulted by that. I take that as a compliment of, yeah, I am better because I've been doing this for a long time now. And I hope that I've gotten better. And they think it's cute. They like to see your progression because they know you now and they think that you're this big celebrity. It's so funny when they call you and say, oh my gosh, I can't believe you answered the phone. You must be so busy. Oh my gosh, like I feel like I'm talking to someone on HGTV. They get all giddy and it's crazy. It's like, I'm no Ryan Serhant, like not even close. I got this itty bitty YouTube channel, but that's what they think. And when they say like, I watched your old videos and wow, you've gotten so much better over time. It's like they're rooting for you to be successful. It's cool. So no, I don't delete the old ones. And then as far as what should you name your channel, there is definitely something to be said for consistency. So my business is Georgia Coast Homes. The name of my channel is Georgia Coast Homes. The name of my Facebook page is Georgia Coast Homes. So yeah, if you can be consistent, I think that would be great. However, it does not need to be St. Petersburg homes and lifestyles, living the beach life. It doesn't have to be this long. It could just be your name. It could be your team name, your business name. It could also be the name of your area, but just try to keep it short and sweet. So it's not, 187 characters long.
Okay, and then another question, this is from a title rep. May title reps join your Facebook group? I tried and it asked me if I was a realtor. Yes, Greg, I'm in her group and learned so much from her, so yes.
Yes, please join. I think it's great. Anybody that is a real estate professional is welcome in that Facebook group.
And then I guess we have a couple more. I'm gonna answer these last 2 questions, and then Karin, I want you to talk about your extensive program because I know you're giving away the 5-day course, but I've taken your course and it is amazing. I know you didn't ask me to talk about it, but I think that people on this call who are interested in doing some YouTube stuff could very much benefit from your entire course. So I'll ask the last 2 questions because I'm going to be careful, you have about 9 more minutes. Amy asked, is it okay to just talk in our first videos and not feel like we have to have all kinds of extras?
I'm sorry to say, but probably no. Because here's why. Nobody has any attention span anymore. And if the camera is on you and this is what they see, my head in the middle of the wall with my office background, and I just talk for 5 minutes, I would need to be like the world's best speaker in order to keep their attention for that length of time. And the most important things that YouTube watches is the actual number of minutes watched. So let's say that your video is 5 minutes long, but they only watch 37 seconds before they hit the back button and they go watch something else. If enough people do that, that is telling YouTube, whoa, people don't like this content. We're not gonna, it's called surfacing it. We're not gonna surface it to more people because we're getting all of this feedback that nobody really likes it. Whereas if they watch it at least half of the way through, the YouTube algorithm says, okay, people like this video. We're going to show it to more people. We're going to suggest it. We're going to have it show up higher in the search results. And so how do you keep people watching longer? You have to have the extras. So that's why I hired a video editor. You need to have B-roll. So if you are talking about, I don't know, we're sitting at the closing table signing, and you can show some people sitting at the closing table and they're signing their loan documents. You're just giving them something else to look at besides your smiling face. You don't have to be on camera the entire length of time. That you can show the people signing and then come back to you, and then show your city and then come back to you. And we can hear you speaking underneath while we're looking at something else. But that and music and sound effects and like text that pops up on the screen, all of those things really help to keep people's attention. And that is the number one metric that YouTube evaluates. So do what you got to do to keep their attention. If you're able to do that with no video editing, you are a much better woman than I am. But I think you're probably going to need some of the bells and whistles.
Okay, and then the last thing before I want you to go through how people can get your programs is one from Sabrina. I think you kind of answered this. How do you stay on topic, and what do you do to keep talking, and what do you say next?
Okay, so I don't write a big long script because it always sounds like, hello, I'm Karin Carr, and I am a real estate agent in Savannah, Georgia. Thank you for watching. Like, I can never read the script and not make it sound like I'm reading a script. So I just write out bullet points for myself. I follow the same format for almost all of my videos. So I know my opening, I know my introduction, I know my wrap up at the end, because I've done this over and over and over again. So all I really need to know is the topic of the day. And let's say that the topic of the day is 7 great curb appeal tips, right? So you write out the 7 things, and maybe you make a few notes of, don't forget to talk about this, don't forget to talk about this. If you're going to link to a website, make sure you say the website. And then I just hold my piece of paper. Yes, I'm old school. I have a piece of paper with my stuff on it. Sometimes I'll have it on the notes app on my phone, but it's small, so piece of paper works. I look at my piece of paper, I memorize 2 sentences. I look back at the camera and I say my 2 sentences. And then when I'm done, I pause and I just keep looking at the camera. And then I look back at my paper and I memorize the next 2 sentences, and then I say that. Then when you go to edit, it's very easy to say, okay, cut when you stopped speaking, and then cut right before you start speaking. So basically all in the middle was where I was looking at my piece of paper, and then I'm just going to hit the delete button and put the 2 things together. So my personal philosophy is have the notes, refer to the notes, but don't be reading the notes on camera just because it sounds so much more natural if you're not reading it the entire time that you're on camera.
Okay, well, thank you so much for all the great information. We appreciate you being here. And before we say goodbye, I just want you to talk about your A to Z program that can really help agents get up and going at a high level that you've created.
Well, thank you very much. I wasn't really expecting to talk about that, but it's kind of you to give me the floor. So yeah, I mean, in June of 2017, I was brand new in my market. And now I have a team. I'm speaking at Inman Connect. I'm speaking at Keller Williams Family Reunion annual conference. I'm speaking at the Florida Association of Realtors. I've been asked to audition for shows on HGTV. All of that stuff came because of YouTube, like no other reason except that I have all these YouTube videos. So in my program, I just tell you everything that I do. Like, how do you figure out the name of your channel? And how do you make the channel art that goes at the top? And how do you decide what your niche will be? How do you decide what you're going to talk about? How do you do the keyword research? How do you film? How do you edit? How do you upload it? How do you optimize the video so that it will get found when people do a search either on YouTube or on Google? I'm just trying to share all of that stuff with you. In addition, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the term lead magnet, but lead magnet is something like a relocation guide, something that your prospect really wants, and they're going to give you their contact information in order to get it. So if I were making a video about relocating to Savannah, I would say something like, so Savannah is pretty awesome, right? Would you like a free copy of my relocation guide? You should just click this link down below. It's totally for free. Just go to my website and request it right now. They go over there, they have to put in their name, their email, their phone number, and then I usually ask them, how soon are you looking to move? I find that that's a very non-threatening question. And then it lets me know how hot they are. Like if they say, oh, I'm retiring in 7 years, I know that I probably don't need to drop what I'm doing and call them right now. But if they say in the next 3 months, then yeah, we jump on the phone and we call them right then and there. And so that is called a lead magnet. We are attracting leads like a magnet, and they're going to give us their contact information and go into our CRM in order to get that free thing. So my team and I make those for you every single month. We have buyer's guides and seller's guides and decorating guides and the relocation guides, and we just make them. They're done for you, ready to use. All you really have to do is put your name, your phone number, and your logo on it. The relocation guide, you do have to go in and modify unless you just want to tell everybody to move to Savannah. But at least the outline is done for you, and then you just modify it. But we give those to you every single month so that you don't have to make it yourself. All you have to do is upload it to your website and then offer it in a video. You can offer it at other places too. I don't care where you use it. Use it everywhere. Put it on your Facebook page, put it on Pinterest, put it on Instagram, put it everywhere. But yes, by all means, use those things. And then we have group coaching calls. We're having our first live event in Savannah, knock on wood, September 30th and October 1st. So as long as we can still hold it, that's the plan, but we're having a live conference too. So it's a pretty great group of people. They're from all over the world. We've got agents in Australia and the UK and Canada and all over the US. And it's pretty cool because everybody kind of brainstorms and wants to help each other. And if something is working for me, I tell you guys, because I want you to be able to do it and implement it in your market. And somebody in Las Vegas will say, this is what I'm doing, and it worked like gangbusters. And it's a really great group of people so that we can all kind of collaborate with each other and share success tips.
Excellent. So if people wanted to register for that program, is there any way that you can type the link in the chat below?
Yes, indeed. It's pretty simple. It's just youtubeforagents.com. youtubeforagents.com. There we go.
And
so
if there
thanks,
are,
Lisa.
Yes, you're very, very welcome. If there are agents that are on this Zoom call that are going to be utilizing YouTube, hands down by far, this is the very best course that I have seen out there. And I've actually gone through the course just to look at the content, and it will teach you everything you need to know and more. So, and I know you didn't want me to talk about that, but I just put it out there because I was blown away when I started going through your class. So thank you so much.
Sherry Bellamy said, I just signed up. Thank you so much. That was very kind of you. Yeah, I gotta every single day in that Facebook group. So we get our own private Facebook group, and people are posting in there their wins. And like, I'm camping in South Carolina right now. I went to Charleston with my family, and we're in an RV, and I had to come into the Keller Williams office here because the Wi-Fi in my RV was so bad. They let me come and crash their office and use their Wi-Fi. But I was just, sitting around playing on my phone last night, and it's like, oh my gosh, I got my first lead. Oh my gosh, I got my first lead. I had 4 closings this month, and they all came from YouTube. And these are people in Iowa. These are people in Florida. These are people in Edmonton, Canada. Like they're all over the place. And it seems like it doesn't really matter what market you're in. It will work if you just do it and you do it consistently and you make a commitment to get a little bit better with every single video that you make so that you get a little more energetic and people start to really follow you and subscribe. And it's so exciting to me to see, like my student that lives in Iowa, it took her a year before she got her first lead because not a lot of people, I guess, moving in and out of Iowa. But when she got it, the guy was approved for $1.4 million. Her commission check was like 25 grand from that one client. And so I was like, was it worth it to wait a whole year to get that first lead? And she's like, yes, it was. And now she's getting like 3 and 4 leads a week. It happens all the time now. So usually it happens a lot faster than that, but sometimes it takes a while, but then it kind of snowballs. And I'll just tell you what, when every client that you work with already knows, likes, and trusts you, they're not trying to talk you down on the commission. They're not asking you to rebate part of your commission to them. They already see your values, so they're not trying to haggle, and they don't interview other people. They're not saying, I'm going to interview you along with 7 other real estate agents and I'm looking for whoever's going to do it the cheapest. They pretty much have already chosen you by the time they reach out to you. And so the clients that you get, they think you walk on water, and it makes the whole transaction so much more fun, right? Like I've got a listing right now that, God willing, is going to close on Tuesday. And when she came in through my website, I said, oh, how did you find me? She said, oh, I just Googled the best real estate agent in Pooler. It's like, what? I showed up on the first page of Google for that? I don't think I've never used that as a keyword, but Google understands that I am a real estate agent working in the suburb of Savannah called Pooler. And when she typed in best real estate agent in Pooler and I showed up, and she called me and didn't even interview anybody else. Like, hello. That is the benefit of YouTube right there. You get come list me phone calls. You get buyer leads like you wouldn't believe. It's awesome. It's just awesome.
Well, thank you so much for being here today. I think you went past your time a little bit. Really appreciate you telling everybody about YouTube and how they can grow their business and get leads off of that platform. So thank you for your time.
Well, thank you for inviting me, Lisa. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you. And thanks everyone for joining us today. See you guys later.